We are starting this video with Mattel's Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi dolls. This is Ami, and she is on a Hasbro Disney Descendants Mal body. It is a very good skin tone match for the Puffy Ami Yumi heads, and she is still wearing the original Mal dress just because I think it's funny to have her in this. And you can see now that Yumi is wearing the same dress and on the same body. Again, I was very happy to finally find a skin tone match in a fairly common doll, smaller than Barbie, that fit these heads really well. This is another doll painted by John. This is Monster High Howleen, and he gave her large, lovely eyes that I did add a bit of gloss coat to, because while John is correct that it does make it harder to photograph them, I just like the depth that it gives to the paint. And she is adorable. Also adorable is this Twyla, who John also painted and sent at the same time as that Howleen. Again, I just glossed her eyes, and with John's permission, I will someday try to alter her eyebrows, because while I love this paint, I think she could just have a little more attitude. This is a Skipper from the late 70s. I had Skipper very much like this when I was young. And a lot of times I used her to represent me because I had the long blonde hair. However, Skipper originally has blue eyes and I did not have blue eyes. So as soon as I got this doll as an adult, I took the liberty of painting her eyes brown. She is on her original body. It's not the best body and the arm pops off if you move it wrong. Someday I might find an articulated body for her, maybe not, because there's a lot of nostalgia to this doll. And she has brown eyes now, so that makes me happy. Here we have a doll with a Pop Life Barbie head sculpt, which is a reproduction of the twist and turn head sculpt from the 60s. This is her original hair, and she is on a gymnast Barbie body that I have reshaped the fingers so that they have some curve and a little more gracefulness to them than the stock gymnast Barbie hands. And I also very obviously have painted her body purple. She was one of my early experiments in painting an entire doll body in a fantasy color, and she is still one of my favorites. Not the least reason is because I really like the way I painted her face. I think it looks almost like something from a factory, and I'm really proud of it. Jody by Ideal. Jody, a country girl. This was from the mid-70s craze for sort of colonial and prairie and settler things like Little House on the Prairie and the Bicentennial. I thrifted this head on a Malibu Barbie body. It's a very small head for a large Barbie body. Someone contacted me and let me know that they had a Jody body that they had gotten when they were buying it just for another doll's head that was on that body, and they very kindly gave that to me, so now I have a complete Jody, a country girl by Ideal. Here we have an unknown vintage dress me doll, very generic and very worn, and I actually really like her genericness and lack of different colors of paint and how worn it is, because I do have a soft spot for this kind of doll. Dolls that weren't meant to be treasured or kept around forever, just little silly novelties. And I gave her a slightly better wig than she originally had. This wig was stolen from a souvenir doll. And gave her a dress from another similar, supposed to be forgotten doll. And I don't agree with the idea of a spooky doll, but there might be people who think she's spooky, and that's fine. This is a Mattel Young Sweethearts Michael, originally sold in a set with Young Sweethearts Melinda. They were some of Mattel's first articulated fashion dolls. And their bodies, with modifications and simplifications, went on to become the basis for the gymnast Barbie and Ken bodies of the late 80s and 90s. And he is just a nice piece of doll history, and he's very cute Mattel style sculpt, and I like him a lot. Finally, we have doll I call Harriet. She is a Shilman Lindsay, the African American version, from again the late 80s, early 90s. I think she has an 88 copyright in the back of her neck, but I'm not sure. I thrifted this head on her original body, which is blow molded and torn up and in terrible shape, so I painted a fashionista's body in a custom mixed color to match her skin tone. The body color is not quite perfect for the head, but I went back and I did mix it a little extra to make the chest match better. And maybe this is too much effort to put into such a cheap doll, but I really like her and I am happy with the result.